Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Delaware County Fair here on Jugette Day. It is Wednesday, September the 18th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the races on both cards from the Delaware County Fair, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me tomorrow for my Little Brown Jug preview. Look, that's tomorrow's card also. It's a marathon of cards, as is today, so let's get to all the action. We're gonna look at both cards, and the early card's so long. It's one race, and it's very long. So we'll look at the first race, and then the late card, which isn't very long at all. It only has 19 races, so we'll look at that. So in total we have 20 races. So let's get on to it. Starting off with the early card, race number 1 from the Delaware County Fair. It's the Buckeye Stallion Series for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 7 trotters going the 1 mile trip here on the half mile, and of course my iPad craps out. It always does it during these big videos. I never know why, but it's for 2-year fillies, 4th leg, first division here, per $17,500. Like I said, 1 mile trot. The top selection, I'm going to go to the 7-horse Dream Change. I'm going to go 7-1 in the exacta, 7-1 exacta, and do not play for 50 cents. My God, I did see they have 50-cent exactas here, and if you play for 50 cents, you're a moron. But play for $1 at least as a minimum. But the top selection, 7-horse Dream Change, 2-year-old filly by Winning Fireworks. Brett Miller is in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came on the fair circuit on the 11th of September at Worcester and Ohio Sire Stakes, and the horse broke that day. What can you do? It just wasn't his day. Before that, on the fair circuit, 20th of August, in Ohio Fair Sire Stakes, he finished second by 3 lengths, and he closed up well that day. It was a slow race, 2:09 for the final quarter. The fair tracks aren't the fastest in the world, but he still ran well at the end as the favorite. And then before that, on the fair circuit, in a 2-year-old filly Ohio Sire Stakes, the horse finished second by length. Again, she ran well. She's run on the bigger circuits in the past, most recently at Northfield and Ohio Sire Stakes for 2-year fillies on the 14th of August. And she finished third by 5 lengths. From the outside, Greg Grismore, the veteran, took her straight to the lead. Just didn't have enough left in the tank after the final quarter, and she kind of weakened out of it. But she ran a good race early on. And then before that, Soto and Ohio Sire Stakes, the horse won by 8.5 lengths, and 158.1, the best lifetime for this horse. She just took off clear. Very good run. Brett Miller is smart. He'll probably leave off the gate, and if he can go wire to wire, that'll be good. 7-2, I'll take this one. So to recap my selection for the first race for the Delaware County Fair early card, let's take the 7-horse Dream Change. We'll go 7-1 in the exacta. So now let's get to the late card from the Delaware County Fair. Race number 1. It is the Ohio Fair Racing Conference 2-year-old Colts and Geldings first division. 7 pacers are traveling 1 mile, purse $3,800. My top selection will take the 2-horse Trump's Wall. I'm gonna go 2-5 in the exacta, 2-5 exacta. Top selection 2-horse Trump's Wall. 3-year-old Gelding by McArty here. Summon Lard is in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing again came on the fair circuit and Ohio Fair Sire Stakes, and he finished second by 16 lengths. The winner just ran a major race. This horse just stalked around there and just couldn't get the fast pace. But they did run quite fast for the smaller circuit, 152.2. It was quite fast. Before that, on the fair circuit in Ohio Fair Sire Stakes, he finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. Set the pace early on, but then he kind of hit the wall. It wasn't his day to win. And then again on the fair circuit, he finished third. Never getting a good run. His last race on the major circuit, shall we say, at Soto, came in an hours of 4, and he finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. He stalked early on from mid pack from the rail. He got the lead at the mid pack, but then he just kind of hit the wall at the end. Didn't have a lot left in the tank. But I like him back to the half mile. Good speed from the inside. Salmon Lard probably will leave. At 4-1, I expect him to run well, so I'll take him. So to recap my selections for the first from the Delaware County Fair, let's take the 2-horse Trump's Wall. We'll go 2-5 in the exacta. So now let's get to race number 2 from Delaware, which is the Buckeye Stallion Series 2-year-old Colts and Geldings 4th leg first division. Field of 8 trotters traveling 1 mile, per $17,500. My top selection will take the 4-horse Bold Strategy. I'm gonna go 4-1 in the exacta. 4-1 exacta. Top selection of 4-horse Bold Strategy. 2-year-old Gelding by Break the Bank. Kurt Sugg trains this one. The horse's most recent outing came at Northfield on the 11th of September, so last week in non-Warsaw 2. and he won by a half length. And from the second tier, he didn't get the lead off the gate, but he got it after the first quarter, and then he just took off clear in 159. It doesn't get any easier than that. He's had some really, three quarters, half to three quarters was very easy, and you're trying to hold him a 31-second quarter, which is quite easily. And if you don't win off of that, there must be something wrong with him. But he stepped down class and he did everything right. A very good run for this horse as the 50 cents to the dollar favorite. Before that, he ran on the fair circuit 31st of August in Ohio Fair Sire Stakes 2-year-old consolation. He finished second by 3 lengths, and he just didn't have the best runs that day. He closed up a little bit that day, but it wasn't his day to win. And then the fair circuit, he won by 6, and again, easy fractions in 203. He got the job done, and then before that he ran some good races on the A circuit, but then on the B circuit, he ran some decent races also. His best time of the year was 159 flat at Northfield a few weeks ago at 8-5. I think he should win this, and I'll take him. Some of these races will be a little chalky, but to recount my selection for the second from the Delaware Fair, let's take the 4-horse bold strategy. We'll go 4-1 in the exacta. So now let's get to race number 3 from Delaware, which is the Ohio Fair Racing Conference 3-year-old Colts and Gelding Second Division. Purse $3,800. Field of 7 pacers traveling a 1-mile trip. Top selection, we'll take the 4-horse Dragon Force, and we'll go 4-7 in the exacta. 4-7 exacta. Top selection, 4-horse Dragon Force. 3-year-old Gelding by Dragon again. Chris Page is in the sulky again. Most horses most recent out on the fair circuit in the 5th of September in Ohio Fair, Ohio Sire Stakes, and the horse finished third by 8 1/4 lengths there. And he stalked off some easy fractions early on, but then he just couldn't get into it late. Before that, he ran on the fair circuit again, 29th of August in Ohio Fair Sire Stakes, and there he just did nothing. Didn't get the lead off the gate. Those tracks are a little bit tighter at times, and he was drawn a little bit too wide, and it just wasn't his day to win. His last victory came on the fair circuit on 12th of August, and he finished the mile 159.2 on the lead author. It doesn't get any easier than that. His best time of the year came in 154.2 earlier this year at Miami Valley. If he can run that race today, I think he'd do well. He has the speed if he wants to win, but also I've noticed he can come from a little bit behind. 6-1. Let's take the shot with him. So to recount my selection for the third from Delaware, gonna take the 4-horse Dragon Force. We'll go 4-7 in the exacta. So now let's get to race number 4. Race number 4, it is the standardbred 2-year-old fillies. Field of 6 trotters traveling 1 mile. Purse $49,300. Top selection here, and a single in the early multi-race wagers. There's a pick 3 that begins off with race number 2, and I would single the 2-horse Hannah. I'm gonna go 2-6 in the exacta. 2-6 exacta. Top selection, 2-horse Hannah. 2-year-old filly by Muscle Hill. Julie Miller trains this one. Andy Miller is in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came at Harrah's Philadelphia Chester on the 8th of September in a Pennsylvania Sire Stakes consolation, and the horse finished third by 2 lengths there. Closed up a little bit that day, but he was a little bit wide, and he just needed that extra kick, but he didn't run half bad. He ran a lot better than the race before, which came at the Meadows in the Sire Stakes, 20th of August. He finished 4th by 18 lengths, and that day he just had a rough middle portion of the race, and he really couldn't recover after that. And then at Pocono in a 2-year-old Sire Stakes, the horse won by 1/2 lengths. That day he stalked early on, and he got the job done. It was a very good run, but it was a little bit of a weird run also. He had 2 starts in a row where he ran weird, and then actually 3 in the Tompkins at Tioga before they finished 5th by 10 lengths. He had the lead, but then he hit the wall at the end and kind of broke. What can you do after that? And then before that, he was running decently in some of the Sire Stakes and decently not. He has a tendency of breaking at times. If he doesn't break today, I think he can, and she can win. I'm going to take her back to the half mile. She should handle it here. So at 7-5, let's take her. And like I said, single her in the multi-race. But to recap my selections for the 4th from Delaware, it's standardbred. Going to go with the 2-horse Hannah. We'll go 2-6 in the exacta to race number 5 from Delaware. It's the Buckeye Stallion Series 2-year-old fillies 4th leg second division. Going for that purse, $17,500. Field of 8 trotters traveling 1 mile. Top selection, I'm going to take 3-horse. Just don't forget me. I'm going to go 3-4 in the exacta here. 3-4 exacta. Top selection, the 3-horse. Just don't forget me. True Flea here by Don't you forget it. Tyler Smith's in the sulky. The horse is most recent out. He came the 4th of September, so a few weeks ago at Soda, and non-wars a 2, and the horse finished 6th by 17 lengths, and, just never really recovered that day. That's all I can really say. It wasn't the day to win. Before that Soda on the 13th of August, and Tyrrell Filly Sire Stakes, and she won by a half length that day. She had to be used a lot off the gate. She stalked early on, and she fought back at the end. It was a very good run for her in 159, won her best time of the year, best time ever, and her second win as pari-mutuel. Before that, she ran Soda 1st of August and a Tyrrell Filly Sire Stakes, and she finished third by 3/4 length. But she ran a decent race, I thought. She set off the. She didn't get the lead off the gate from the rail, but she got at the midpoint to the 3/4. She lost on the stretch run, but she showed some heart there, not completely hitting the wall. And then before that, Soda and Ohio Sire Stakes, she finished 6th, but was placed 5th through disqualification, and she just really ran crap there. It just wasn't her day to win. And then before that, on the fair circuit in a Sire Stakes, she won by 1 3/4 lengths and a salty 206 and 3. She got the job done. That's all I can say about there from a wide post draw. But she's gonna have the inside post draw. She's running better miles than anybody here, I think, and I just think she's gonna run a lot better. So it's 2-1. Let's take her. So to recount my selections for the 5th in Delaware Fair, let's take the 3-horse. Just don't forget me. Can't speak. I'm going to go 3-4 in the exacta to race number 6 now from Delaware, which is the Ohio Fair Racing Conference Trio Colts and Gelding's 3rd division. Field of 7 pacers traveling 1 mile, purse $3,800. My top selection here. I'm going to take the 5-horse cross country. I'm going to go 5-6 in the exacta. 5-6 exacta, top selection. The 5-horse cross country, Luke Ebersols in the sulky on this 3-year-old gelding by Palone Ranger. The horse's most recent outing came the 1st September at Northfield on the slap in Ohio Sire Stakes 3-year-old Colts Final, and the horse finished 3rd by 5.5 lengths. He closed up well at the end from a little bit of a wide post. He tried leaving off the gate, which kind of, he nearly got the lead off the gate, but then he kind of went backwards, closed up a little bit at the end. I thought he ran a decent race there. Today he's probably going to get a better run on the half mile. He's facing lesser quality horses here by a lot, and I just think he'll run a lot better. But he didn't run half bad, like I said, in Northfield. He ran I thought, his 14-1 odds. Before that, Scioto and Ohio Sire Stakes for 3-year-old Colts, and he 3-year-old Consolation, and he finished 3rd by 2 1/4 lengths. He got the lead off the gate from the wide post drop, but then he just hit the wall and just couldn't keep up at the end. It wasn't the day to win. And then this fair at Soda and Sire Stakes finished 7th, but placed 6th through disqualification. He got the lead off the gate, but then again he just hit the wall completely in the final quarter. Really crap run for him there. And then before that, another crap run in the at Soda. But he's done his best racing, I thought, on the half mile. Before that, he ran the 15th of July in Northfield in the non-wars 4, and he won by 1/4 lengths from the rail. He got home in 153 and 2. It was a very good run. His best time was 150 and 4 at Northfield this year, but it's been a while since he's done that, since the 29th of June, so it's been a few months. But I think he could, he's not going to lower it today, but I think he'll win here against these horses, so at 6-5, let's take him. So to recap my selection for the 6 from Delaware, let's take the 5-horse cross country. We'll go 5-6 in the exacta. So now let's get to race number 7 from Delaware, which is the Buckeye Stallion Series Trio Colts and Gelding's 4th leg 2nd division, per $17,500. We have 9 horses now going the 1 mile trot. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 6 horse, not the norm. I'm going to go 6-1 in the exacta. 6-1 exacta, top selection 6 horse, not the norm. 2-year-old gelding by Storm and Norman. Dan Noble trains and drives this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 2nd of September at Soda and an hours of 1. His first time on the big league circuit in about 4 weeks, and he finished 4th by 1.5 lengths. He ran a very good, race. He went 28 to the first quarter, his quickest quarter in quite a while. But and then he set some easy fraction after that, going to a 30 3/4. But then he just didn't have a lot left in the tank. Probably wasn't 100% fit to run against those horses. He kind of hit the wall at the end, but he still ran a good race early on. Before that, on the fair circuit in a 2-year-old partial, and he won by 16 that day, and I couldn't find a replay for that, but according to that, he was on the lead all throughout some easy 30-second fractions, and in 203 and 2, he got the job done there. And then again on the fair circuit, he won by 4 3/4 lengths a week earlier, and that day he had to be used a lot. It looked like he was off and on lead all throughout, but he got done in 202 and 202 and 2/5 of a second, so he got the job done. But the race is on the big circuit. He's run some decent races there too. I like him a lot. He should get a good run. Everything points to him in this race, so let's take him. So to recap my selection for the 7th from Delaware, let's take the 6 horse, not the norm. I'm gonna go 6-1 in the exacta. It's race number 8 now, which is the Ohio Breeders' Championship 2-year-old fillies first division, purse $55,850. Field of 9 trotters traveling 1 mile. Top selection, I'm gonna take the 4 horse, the Lovely Hall. I'm gonna go 4-6 in the exacta. 4-6 exacta. Top selection of 4 horse, the Lovely Hall. It's filly by Cash Hall. Aaron Merriman's in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of September, which was last Sunday now at the Lexington Red Mile and the Kentucky Sire Stakes Consolation, and he finished 3rd by 1/4 lengths. He was drawn a little bit too wide that day. He didn't get the lead off, not too wide, but he didn't have a lot of gate speed off the gate, and that cost him. He sat back early. He closed up a little bit at the end, at mercy of the really good long stretch at Lexington, but he finished 3rd by 1/4 lengths. He ran okay, but he could have ran a little bit of better race. Before that, Soda and Ohio Sire Stakes Consolation, and the horse won by 2 1/4 lengths, and he didn't get the lead off the gate, but got it shortly after at 158-1. It was a very good, solid run for him. And then before then, Ohio Sire Stakes for 2-year-old fillies, 21st of August, the horse finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths and just never really had a run. But I like him back to the half mile. Has the speed to win here. Faced a lot tougher horses, I thought, in Kentucky a few days ago. I think it's the right-on race for him. 5-2. Let's take him. Let's go get our $7 here, or $2.50 to the dollar, whatever the hell it is, or excuse me, $3.50 a dollar. But to recap my selections now for today's 7th race, or excuse me, 8th race from Delaware. It's the Ohio Breeders' Championship. Let's take the 4s, the Lovely Hall. I'm gonna go 4-6 in the exacta. Race number 9, it is the standardbred 2-year-old fillies here, going for a purse $43,500. Field of 7 pacers traveling 1 mile. My top selection here, I'm going to take the number 5 horse, Keystone Eureka. I'm going to go 5-3 in the exacta. 5-3 exacta. Top selection of 5 horse, Keystone Eureka. Cheerfully by Some Beach Somewhere. Tim Tetrick's in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came the 9th of September at Pocono in the Sire Stakes there, and the horse finished 2nd by a length. He didn't get the lead off the gate, but he moved his way up. He was kind of tackling for the lead, but he just couldn't get there. But at 36-1, he ran a good second place finish that afternoon. Before then, 2-year-old Sire Stakes at the Meadows, 12th of August, he finished 2nd by 4 3/4 lengths. He set the pace early on, but then he kind of got overtaken, and then he just couldn't recover at the end. It wasn't the day. And then Pocono in a 2-year-old filly Sire Stakes, the horse won by nose, sat back early, great turn of foot in the final quarter, and he got there in the end. A very good run for him at 40 cents a dollar. That was the last time Tim Tetrick was in the sulky on this horse. Hopefully that will prove well today. But he has out of 7 lifetime races, this horse has only had 1 victory in 5 places. So he's your kind of exact horse at times, but I think he'll get the victory here today. Back to the half mile for the first time. He likes the smaller tracks. I noticed his race at Hoosier I didn't like that much. I don't think he got around the turn that well, but I like him a lot here today at 5-2. Let's take him. So to recap my selection for the 9th from Delaware, let's take the 5 horse Keystone Eureka. We'll go 5-3 in the exacta. Race number 10 now. It is the Buckeye Stallion Series Trail Colts and Geldings 4th leg 3rd division. Field of 9 trotters traveling 1 mile per $17,500. Top selection here. I'm gonna go with the number 8 horse Time Storm. I'm gonna go 8-2 in the exacta. 8-2 exacta. Top selection 8 horse Time Storm. 2-year-old Gallon by Storm and Norman here, and the sulky is Muti. The horse's most recent outing John Moody's in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came on the 11th of September on the fair circuit in the Ohio Fair Sire Stakes, and the horse won that day, but was disqualified. But what can you do? It kind of caught at the end. But it just wasn't his day to win. Before that, on the Fair Sire Stakes, he won by 9.5 lengths, and again on the lead all throughout. Very easy 30-second quarters in 2 minutes and 4/5 of a second. He got the job done, and then on the fair circuit again, he won easily, and again, doesn't get any easier than that. But before that, he's been running these easy races. He's stepping up in class here today. He's going to get the wide post job, but if he could leave and set some easy fractions, I think he could win. 156-4 is his best time ever, which beats anybody in this race. That came at Northfield earlier this year, but I like him a lot. 12 for 12. Let's make it a baker's dozen here today. So to recap my selection for the 10th from Delaware, it's the Buckeye Stallion Series. Let's take the 8 horse Time Storm. We'll go 8-2 in the exacta. So now let's get to race number 11 from Delaware, which is the Ohio Breeders' Championship Age Trot. Purse $14,600. 10 horses are going to the gate to the 1 mile trot, and I do like these second tier 10 horse fields on the half mile. It just makes the race a little bit more exciting. A lot of people hate them, but I like them. But the top selection here, I'm going to take the number 6 horse, Rompaway Galaxy, my long shot of the day. We'll go 6-5 in the exacta. 6-5 exacta, top selection 6 horse, Rompaway Galaxy, 8-year-old getting by Rompaway here. Dave Pallone, the veterans in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came the 14th of September at Northfield, and onwards at 55 last 4, and the horse finished second by a head. He stalked off the gate, he got the lead at midpoint, and then he just couldn't get the final quarter well, but he ran a good race early on. I thought it wasn't the world's worst race for him. He lost by a short margin. Before that, at Northfield in onwards at 55, he finished third by 1 3/4 lengths, and again, he stalked early on, a great turn of foot late. He just missed, but if the race was mile 16th, he probably would have won that day. It was a good effort. And then Northfield from the second tier, onwards at 7, he finished third by 1/4 lengths. He didn't get the lead off the gate, which is hard to do from the second tier when you have a horse in front of you. 9 horses in front of you. But again, he was closing up well at the end. He hasn't won in quite a while, but he's due for a victory. And his 167th start, let's give it to him. He's 166-46, by the way. He has 5 victories to his name this year. His best time came, of course, on the half mile at Northfield in 155-2. Let's take him at 15-1. I think he could get a good run. So to recount my selection for the 11th from Delaware, it's to Ohio Breeders' Championship Age Trial. Let's take the 6 horse Rompaway Galaxy. We'll go 6-5 in the exacta to race number. The 12th race from Delaware, it is the Ohio Breeders' Championship 3-year-old Colts and Geldings First Division, purse $59,850. Field of 9 trotters traveling 1 mile here. My top selection will take the 3 horse Homer Hall. We'll go 3-5 in the exacta. 3-5 exacta, top selection 3 horse Homer Hall. 3-year-old gelding by Broadway Hall. Dexter Dunn is in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came the 7th of September at Soda, and the Ohio Sire Stakes consolation for 3-year-olds that day. And the horse won by a length that day, and he had a wide post draw, but he stalked early on. He left out the gate, didn't get the lead, but he stalked early on, and he had a great final quarter, and 154-3 was his best time of the year, and he got the job done. It was a very good run for him. Before that, onwards at 10 at Soda, he finished 5th by 5.5 lengths there, and he just never had the run. It wasn't the day to win. And then the fair circuit, he won by 14 lengths on the half mile, and 158. That was a very quick trot for him that afternoon. And then in Northfield and Ohio Sire Stakes, he finished second by 6.5 lengths, and he set the pace early on. Very quick fractions, 27-4, 28-1, and he never had a breather, which probably caused him at the end. He just couldn't keep up. But he's coming here, lesser quality race, good post draw, 7-2. Everything points to him here, so let's take him. So to recap my selections for the 12th from Delaware, let's take the 3 horse Homer Hall. We'll go 3-5 in the exacta. Race number 13 from Delaware. It is the Buckette for 3-year-old fillies, purse $76,125. Race is like I said, for 3-year-olds here. Fillies, field of 6 trotters traveling 1 mile here. Top selection. We'll take the 1 horse French Cafe. I'm going to go 1-2 in the exacta. 1-2 exacta. Top selection 1 horse French Cafe. 3-year-old filly by Father Patrick. Julie Miller trains. Andy Miller's in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of September, so Saturday at Lexington Red Mile in the Kentucky Sire Stakes final. The horse finished 4th by 5 1/4 lengths, left off the gate, but then after that didn't really show a lot. Hit the wall at the end. It wasn't the day to win. A very quick first quarter, 27-2, so it didn't really help, and 27-3 to the half, so it just wasn't the day. Before that, the Kentucky Sire Stakes at the Lexington Red Mile, the horse won by 3 1/4 lengths, stalked early on, got the lead at the midpoint, and then just trotted home in 152-3. A good run for this horse. And then again in Lexington, the Sire Stakes, horse won by 1/4 and 154-3. Again, got the job done. A very good run. Coming to the half mile does scare me a little bit, but she has the speed to win from the rail. 6-5, let's take it. If you're going to play any multi races, a pick 3 that begins with the race before, I definitely would use the 2 horse Keystone Abbey also. She's a horse, she's going to come from a little bit behind, I think, but she can get the job done, so we'll use her as an insurance policy, shall we say, also. But to recap my selection for the 13th from Delaware, it's the Buckette. Let's take the 1 horse French Cafe. In the multi-race, make sure you use the 2 horse Keystone Abbey also. We'll go 1-2 in the exacta. Race number 14 now, it's the Buckeye Stallion Series Trio Fillies 4th leg 3rd division, per $17,500. Field of 7 trotters traveling 1 mile. Top selection, we'll take the 4 horse Light Lightning Bell. I'm gonna go 4-6 in the exacta. 4-6 exacta. Top selection of 4-horse Lightning Bell. Tyrrell here. It gets stalled in the sulky. The horse is most recent outing came the 9th of September at Northfield. 9 horse and 1 for 2 year olds, and the horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. Got the second victory of her life. 159-4. Very, had slow fractions on the to the first half, and then quickened it up that day and got the job done. It was a very good run for this horse. Before then, the fair circuit on the 31st of August, the horse finished second by 1/2 lengths. Closed up a little bit that day, but it wasn't anything spectacular. They ran 2-9-2 for the mile there, and then sewed on the big circuit in a true filly race. The horse finished 5th by 3 1/4 lengths and just didn't have a lot. Has run the better races on the half mile. It comes back to a half mile today at 3-1. Let's take her back here. Like I said, all our best races have come on the half. But to recap my selection for the 14th from Delaware, it's the Buckeye Stallion Series. Let's take the 4-horse Lightning Bell. We'll go 4-6 in the exacta. So now let's get to the bigger races. Race number 15 from Delaware, which is the 47th Jugette, the Real Fillies first division. First heat. Going for this purse of $51,920. Field of 6 pacers traveling 1 mile. Top selection and a horse I think will probably go all the way would be the 4-horse Treacherous Rain. I'm going to go 4-1 in the exacta. 4-1 exacta, but the top selection on a horse, like I said, who might win that everything would be the 4-horse Treacherous Rain. 3 by Captain Treacherous. Tony Alagna trains. Dexter Dunn's in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came at the Meadows and Sire Stakes a few weeks ago, and the horse finished second by 4.5 lengths. Set the pace off the gate, but just couldn't find anything in the final quarter. Ran 26-3 off the gate, but couldn't find anything in the final quarter. Got caught, but she ran a good race there. Before that, the Meadows and the Sire Stakes, the horse finished second by 3 lengths. Again, easy fractions on the front end. She got caught, but she still ran a good effort. And then the Pocono Sire Stakes, the horse won by 2 lengths, and again on the lead all throughout. 149-4. She was quickening it up that day. It was a very, very good run there. She's run well in the half mile. She's had some very good times past. Most recently, 148-3, her best time of the year, which came at Mohawk in the Fan Hanover on North America Cup Day, where she put on a show closing up. But back to the half mile, speed favoring. I think she's the horse to beat, and I think she's gonna do everything. So let's take her. So to recap my selection for the 15th from Delaware, it's the Jugette. Let's take the Jugette 11-1. Gonna go with the 4-horse Treacherous Rain. We'll go. Where are we? I'll go 4-1 in the exacta. Race number 16 from Delaware. It is the 47th Jug Real Filly Second Division First Heat. Purse $51,920. Field is 7 pacers traveling 1 mile. Top selection. I'm gonna go with the number 1 horse, Warwi U Butte. I'm gonna go 1-7 in the exacta. 1-7 exacta. Top selection 1 horse, Warwi U Butte. 3 filly by Sweet Lou. Ron Burke trained. Yannick Jingres in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came in the Sire Stakes at the Meadows 7th of September, and the horse won by 4.5 lengths. So off the gate from the 8 hole, didn't get the lead, but got it shortly after, and then she beat Treacherous Rain. She just ran a very good mile that day, 150, which was quite fast, and quickened it up in the final quarter. It was a very impressive run. Before then, Sire Stakes at Meadows, 26th of August. She won by 3 that day, and again, she stalked early on, she got the lead, and then she took off, 149-2. It was very good for the half, for the 5/8 mile track, and then a Sire Stakes at Pocono. The horse won by 1.5 lengths, and just, it got the job done. It wasn't so impressive like the last 2 races, but she got the job done there. Major improvement off the race 4, which is the Shady Daisy at the Meadowlands, and there she just ran crap, and I mean it crap. She finished 3rd by 2 1/4 lengths, just had nothing as to 2-1 second choice, but she liked the smaller track, and I think she got the job done here. But in the final, I'd probably take her second. I think Treacherous Rain probably get the final in the half mile, depending on the poster, hopefully also. But to recap my selection now for the 16th from Delaware, it's the Jugette 11-2. Gonna go with the 1 horse Warwi U Butte. I'm gonna go 1-7 in the exacta. Race number 17 now on this marathon card. In the 17th race, it's the Ohio Breeders' Championship, Tyrrell Filly Second Division. Field of 9 trotters traveling 1 mile, purse $55,850. My top selection here, I'm gonna go with the 9 horse Agua Lilies. I'm gonna go 9-2 in the exacta. 9-2 exacta. Top selection 9 horse Agua Lilies. Tyrrell Filly by Break at the Bank. Yannick Jingres in the sulky on this one. The horse's most recent outing came last Wednesday to the Meadows, and non-horse 2 extra pari-mutuel, and the horse won by 1/4 lengths, and very easy that day, 156-3. It was her second pari-mutuel win, and she did everything right on the front end. Very good run. Before that, 21st of August, Scioto and Ohio Sire Stakes, and the horse finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths that day, and just was never comfortable, never quickened up. It wasn't the day to win. This horse has 1 prior victory before the Meadows race. That came at Scioto, where she broke her maiden in Sire Stakes. The horse won by a half length from won the 9 hole, sat back early, stalked off the gate, and then she got the lead, and then she had a great final quarter, and 159, she got the job done. She's been getting better with every single race since then. She's going to have to overcome the second tier, but I think she can get the job done at 9-2. Let's take her. So to recap my selections for the 17th from Delaware, it's the Ohio Breeders' Championship Tiro Filly second division. Let's take 9-horse. I'll go with Lilies. We'll go 9-2 in the exacta. It's race number 18. Race number 18 from Delaware, it's the Ohio Breeders' Championship third 3-year-old Colts and Geldings second division, purse $59,850, field of 10 trotters traveling 1 mile. Top selection, let's go to the 10-horse, still in the grade. We'll go 10-5 in the exacta. 10-5 exacta, top selection 10-horse, still in the grade. 3-year-old Gelding by Break the Bank. Ron Burke trains. Chris Page is in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came 18 days ago to be exact, at Northfield on the slop in Ohio Sire Stakes. On the slop, the horse finished 4th by 6 3/4 lengths, stalked early on, but then just never had a good run late, which is never comfortable. I don't know if she liked the sloppy going. Hopefully back to a drier track today. I think she's run well. It's been a while since I've seen a Delaware, little brown jug on a sloppy course. It's always a nice, beautiful day. Probably just jinxed it also, but hopefully with a fast track she'll do well. Before then, Ohio Sire Stakes in Northfield, 10th of August. She won by 6.5 lengths that day. She sat back early, great final quarter, in 153-2. It was a very good run for her there, best time of the year. And then on the Sire Stakes circuit, so the 3rd of August, the horse finished second by 4 3/4 lengths, was drawn wide, a little bit of turn foot late, but the wide poster got to her. I like her better here from the second tier opposed to the 8-hole at Toyota. I think she could get a better position here. 4-1, let's take her. So to recap my selection for the 18th from Delaware, it's the Ohio Breeders' Championship, 3-year-old Colts and Geldings second division. Let's take the 10-horse, still in the grade. We'll go 10-5 in the exacta. 19th race now from Delaware. It's the Buckeye Stallion Series second, 2-year-old Colts and Geldings, 4th leg, 4th division. Races for purse $17,500. Field of 9 trotters traveling 1 mile. Top selection, we'll take the 2-horse Clubat. We'll go 2-9 in the exacta. 2-9 exacta. Top selection, 2-horse Clubat. 2-year-old Gelding by full account. Kurt Suggs in the sulky. The horse's most recent outing came 10th of September on the fair circuit at Worcester and Ohio Fair Sire Stakes. The horse finished second by 2.5 lengths, and just didn't have a lot that day. What is the day to win? But they ran a quick final quarter there. Before they get on the fair circuit, the horse broke. What can you do? And then before that, ran a very good second place finish on the fair circuit by a neck after off and on the lead all throughout. Best time for him was a 2 minutes and 2/5 at Northfield earlier this season, and has done well at Northfield. Going to get the lead from the inside poster. It looks like a main threat going to the front end, and I think he'll get a better trip. I think a little bit of a wider turn here than some of the smaller turns at the fair should suit him well. And a 6-1, let's take him. So to recap my selection for the 19th from Delaware, let's take the 2-horse Clubat. We'll go 2-9 in the exacta. Now the 20th race is the Jugette Final, going for that purse of under $55,000. And like I said, the horse I'm going to bet here would be the Treacherous Rain. Of course, she has no number right now, but I think she's going to run well, and I'll take her with Worry You Beat. You bet. It's probably going to be a very chalky exacta, but those are the two I think are going to go all the way, so let's take them. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5, and join me tomorrow for my Little Brown Jug Marathon preview. And I mean, it's going to be a marathon of a video. We have those 20 races, and so let's get to it tomorrow. Good